Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Lokashankaram. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadyayiniim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshiniim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagah Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganah Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Arjuna said, Bhagavan, I am so confused. Definitely, what is best for me? Action or knowledge? To his simple mind, it seems that if moksha is my goal, which is the result of jnana, knowledge, and that is gained through Naishkarmyam, which translated literally means actionlessness. If that were the case, why should I not quit action? Quit action and pursue knowledge. Now, Bhagavan answers this question and drives home the point that through this kind of renunciation of action, the goal of moksha, liberation, cannot be achieved. Na karmanam anarambhat naishkarmyam purushah ashnute nacha sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhi gacchati. By not starting activities, karmana anarambhat, by avoiding actions, by not discharging one's duties and responsibilities, someone cannot attain that state of actionlessness. Then you may get a doubt. There are many mantras, Upanishad mantras are there that say through sannyasa, moksha can be gained. Through sannyasa only moksha is gained. Na karmana na prajaya danena tyage na eke. Tyage, just renunciation alone. Amritattvam. It's said very clearly. So, Bhagavan clarifies, whenever and wherever it is said, there is moksha by renunciation, we must add by mere renunciation. The word mere renunciation alone cannot give liberation. That point should be understood. That renunciation should be preceded by knowledge. Okay, just renunciation, no. Associated with knowledge. He gives a second reason also. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit karyate hi avashah karma sarva prakriti jair gunaihi. A person cannot remain without doing something, even for a moment. Everyone is forced to act by the three gunas of Prakriti, Maya. And we are helpless. We are pushed into action, one action or the other. Therefore, your proposition that I'll quit action, Arjuna, it's untenable. And then Bhagavan goes on to give a beautiful description to contrast two people. One who still insists he's not going to do anything, give up all action. Contrast with another person who performs actions but intelligently. Where does each one reach? Where are they headed? And what happens to them both? Verses 6 and 7 provide this contrast. We saw verse 6 last class. Karmendriyani sanyamya ya asanan indriyartan vimudhatma mityacharaka sa uchyate. Whose mind remembers sense object pleasures. Indriyartan smaran. His mind is in those only, but he controls his actions. He's not doing anything. Restrained. Karmendriyani sanyamya. He has restrained all his organs of action, but his mind is roiling in that sense pleasures only. I don't want to use any stronger words, but you get the picture. And Bhagavan calls him Vimudhatma. He doesn't mince words. He says he's an utter fool, a deluded person. He is consumed, confused. He does not know what he wants from life. He is a mithyacharaha, a man given to bad conduct, or we can call him an hypocrite. So that is the picture of one who's not doing anything. Senses are controlled, but the mind is not. Contrast that with the other person who performs action. And how does he do that? That's taken up in the 7th verse. Let us see now. Yasvindriyani manasa Yastvendriyani manasa niyamyarabhaterjuna niyamyarabhaterjuna karmendriyai karma yogam कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स न विशिष्यते असक्तः स विशिष्यते यस्त्विन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यार्हवतेऽर्जुन कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते. Beautiful contrast is presented here. And he glorifies. What is the ideal ashrama? He says it is grahastha ashrama. A life in the society where there is scope for service, contribution, so that I can cleanse myself. It's an ideal opportunity where one can fulfill artha, kama, and simultaneously serve the society as well. And scriptures, Shastra prescribes it not merely for artha and kama, but also for the pursuit of dharma. Also dharma. A wife is called Sahadharma Charini, one who walks along with you on the path of dharma. So in that stage of life, you serve the society, contribute to the welfare of the society, thereby purify your mind. What should such a person do in that grahastha ashrama? Living in the society, living with the family, what type of life should he lead? Bhagavan says, Indriyani manasaniyamya, as a grahastha, as a householder, and an active member of the society, let him regulate his sense organs by the mind. Indriyani manasa niyamya. Regulate, moderate, control, master the sense organs with the mind. A householder is given freedom to fulfill his desires. Let him earn money, wealth, name, fame, enjoy comforts, but let it be in a restrained manner. Let that pursuit not be in an indiscriminate manner. In sannyasa, none of that is. Sannyasi cannot go and earn money, buy a house, buy a Lamborghini. Some sannyasis have been known to do that, and they've gotten into trouble as well. Rolls Royces galore. Okay, problem. Sannyasi is not allowed to do that. But if you are a grihastha, oh, no problem, you can do that. But do it in a legitimate and then restrained manner. Go ahead. Everybody is given freedom to enjoy those pleasures. You go to a movie, go for a dance, a music concert, enjoy yourself. No problem, no harm. Go ahead. You fulfill all your desires. At the same time, you ask yourself, is it legitimate? Is it moral? Is it in moderation? Or is it in excess? Everything should be in moderation. Be a dharmika purusha, a righteous person. Avoid indulgence. And how do you control? How do you have that kind of regulation? How do you control the sense organs? Manasa, by the mind and intellect. by knowing what is right and what is wrong, what is necessary, what is too much. Let the intellect be your guide. Having regulated the sense organs by the mind in this way, hey Arjuna, karma yogam arabhate. Take to karma yoga. Take to karma yoga. We will see what is karma yoga. We'll see it in great detail from now on. How to practice karma yoga. How is it done? Karma is there, so you have to use karmendriyahi, organs of action. You're doing action, so you have to use organs of action. Physically be active, but the mind is totally calm. Just the opposite of the other guy we saw in the previous verse. That man had restrained his senses. He's not physically active, but he had a turbulent mind. So many things going on in his mind. But the person being described here, he begins karma yoga, and the highlight importance of karma yoga, asakta, totally unattached with respect to karma and karma phala, both action and results of action. You think people are attached only to the results of action. I want this, I want that, so I'm doing this. So I'm attached to the results of action. But the fact is, not only the results, people are attached to the actions themselves. You see a lot of people complaining. I'm overworked. I'm so busy. At work, you hear the people complaining. Okay, we'll get you some help. We'll hire you an assistant, or you can do some job sharing. All these ideas. But they don't want to do that. No, 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 no. I don't want to do that. I want to do it all. You bring in the other guy, he might do a better job, and I might be kicked out. All kinds of, worries are there, anxieties are there. No, 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 I will do it. I will complain, but I will do it. So they are bound by their actions also. They are attached to their actions. They say, a typical American does not take his vacation time. Yeah. He's allowed X number of weeks, but quite often he doesn't take the time off. And even when he's hey, what's going on? This done, what that done? Why? This fellow goes for a week and he's not missed. Okay, we don't need him for the rest of the other 51 weeks in the year too. So he's worried. Attached to action. So people are attached to action as well as the results of action. But the one who does his action with the attitude of karma yoga, and we will see what exactly it is. Here, Bhagwan is just pointing out that person, saha vishishyate, he excels. He excels in the work also. He excels in his life journey. That also is there. Whatever he is doing, he will do well. On top of that, it brings him spiritual benefits, inner growth also. So do you see the two contrasting pictures? One is controlling the organs of action. The other person is engaging them in action. The first person is mentally indulging in sense pleasures. Second one is totally dispassionate. He has the right attitude of karma yoga. We've seen what Karma Yoga is. We've been introduced to Karma Yoga in the second chapter. We will see greater details in this chapter. This is dedicated for the discussion of Karma Yoga. So this second person, the one we are describing in the 7th verse, he has the right attitude to action and its results. He excels. He excels means the actions do not bind him. Quality of work is good. That is one thing. That is excellence in action. On top of that, those actions will not bind him. He has learned karmasu kushalata. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. We saw in 2nd chapter, verse 50. So that skill in action, that dexterity in action he has. He knows how to perform actions in such a way, and this is one of Puja Gurudev's favorite phrase, he does action in such a way that existing vasanas are exhausted and no new vasanas are created. So his mind becomes calm, quiet, pure, subtle. That is what is meant by saying he excels in action. So Arjuna, yes, knowledge is superior to action. No question about it. But you must understand these things first. What are they? I'm just going to recap what was already said. Okay, number one, at present, you are not ready for knowledge, Arjuna. Right now, you are fit for action. So you have to do that. You have to perform action, but do it with the attitude of Karma Yoga and prepare yourself for knowledge. You're not there yet. That's number one. Number two, you think that Naishkarmyam, actionless state, can be reached by not performing action. That's wrong. That state is not reached by giving up action. That is not reached by giving up action, but through action, done the right way. Number three, you really don't have a choice to act or not to act. Okay? Nature will force you to act, whether you want it or not. Whether you like it or not, you don't have a choice. Just do it. Number four, if you still insist, you'll just be a hypocrite, a man of false conduct. It's not going to happen. You have to fight this war, you quit, go to the forest, and your mind will be where? Those wretched Kauravas, they got the land. Huh? I should have fought that battle, defeated them. What a mistake I did. This is the situation described in the 6th verse. That's what will be happening. You'll be a hypocrite. Not good for you. Number 5, on the other hand, if you act with the right attitude, you will excel in action. You will gain purity of mind. You will be ready for knowledge. And you can reach your goal. So act, you must. That's the bottom line. So in the previous verse, Bhagavan said Karma Yoga is ideal. It is best for most people. Even in the exceptional cases where someone has gone or taken to sannyasa ashrama without Karma Yoga, in Grahastha ashrama, Shastra says that is also not an exception because that was done in prior births. And that person is already prepared for sannyasa in this birth. So he takes to that ashramas directly. So even in such cases, Karma Yoga is not circumvented. We heard so much about Karma Yoga, how great it is, why everyone should do it and all that. But what exactly is it? And how to practice it? Bhagavan did define this in the second chapter. Famous verse you all remember, verse 47. Karmani adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaketurbuhu ma te sangostu akarmani. And then yogastha kuru karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya siddhya siddho same krutva samatvam yoga uchate. Now, these definitions will be expanded and elaborated upon in this chapter, and in this chapter in verses 8 through 20. So we are going to start on this important section, very important section that deals with Karma Yoga. I had mentioned before what he said in Bhagavad Gita. It's already been said in the Upanishads. So Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the essence of the Upanishad. And then this discussion is directly related to what is said in Ishavasya Upanishad. That is the basis of this third chapter of the Gita. Kurvanyeva iha karmani jijivishetshatakum samaha evam tvaina ayatosti na karma lipyate nare. A very important mantra. Bhagavan Sri Krishna uses the Upanishad as the basis of Karma Yoga discussion. So what is this Karma Yoga? I will give you a general picture first, and then we will go into the verses proper. We've done a little bit of this discussion in the second chapter where Karma Yoga was introduced, and some of that you will recall. Now, Karma Yoga consists of two parts, the karma part and the yoga part. The first karma, that is one word. And yoga is the other word. What is karma? Karma means proper action. One main criterion for karma yoga is that action should be a proper action. We will see later what constitutes a proper action. And then the second part of it is the, and that word indicates the proper attitude toward the action and the results of action. The first part, karma, talks about the propriety of the action, and the second part, yoga part, has to do with the attitude with which you act and your attitude when you get the results of action. And we will take each segment, each part for our study. What is proper action? What is proper action? Shastra classifies actions into three types. Satvikam karma, rajasam karma, and tamasam karma. Later on, these three will be discussed exclusively. Much more details will be taken up there. But for now, Satvikam karma is the best action, ideal for karma yoga. Then Rajasam karma, Rajasika karma, is mediocre, middling, secondary. And Tamasam karma is the worst. So karma yogi's life should be predominantly sattvic actions. Rajasic action should be lesser, and tamasic action should be avoided. Naturally, the next logical question is, what are sattvic actions? What are they? In simple terms, we can translate sattvic action as any action in which more number of people get benefited. I may also be a beneficiary, but the benefit does not come to me alone. Number of people getting the benefit is much higher. For example, a businessman is there. His business makes a lot of profits, and he enjoys that. But he also shares it with his employees in the business and the society. And everybody will bless him. They will bless him to get more and more profits because they also get a slice of the pie. We call such actions nishkama karmas, selfless activities. They are uttama karma, the best. The rajasic actions are those in which the other beneficiaries are minimum, say only for the individual, maybe immediate family. And even there, we hear of cases of siblings suing each other to claim property. And those are all examples of rajasic actions. They are madhyama karma, mediocre, middle of the pack. Finally, tamasic actions are harmful actions, which are done for my benefit. And in the process, I hurt others and I don't care. I'm not bothered about what happens to others. Any action that disturbs others is tamasam karma. It is adharma karma. So karma yogi's life should be full of mainly sattvic actions. Minimum rajasic action. Ideally, no tamasic action. Let's go further. If sattvika karma is nishkama karma, predominantly nishkama karma, what am I supposed to do as nishkama karma? Shastra itself prescribes those sattvic karmas. And these are mandatory karmas that everybody must do. Everybody must do. Kama karmas, all right, but you should do sattvic nishkama karmas also. What are they? Panchamahayajnas. They are the best because they produce spiritual progress very quickly. In rajasic actions, progress is very slow. In tamasic action, there may not be any progress, and in fact, they may even be regression, going back. All that is possible. Therefore, nishkama karma is superior because it purifies the mind, cleanses the mind. It is a detergent for the mind. Gets rid of dirt. Like what? Raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, all that dirt, mala in the mind gets rid of. So what are these Panchamahayajnas? Let's take a look. The first Mahayajna is Deva Yajna. Our life should have certain religious activities. However busy you are, you should devote at least a little time for worship. What you do depends on your ability, background, training, parentage, and so on. One may do Agnihotra, that is talked about in the Vedas. Another person might do daily Sandhya Vandana because he has been initiated into that, it's been taught that. A third person may not know how to do any of this, but he may have a regular practice of going to a temple or chanting the name of the Lord. All of that are okay. Something must be done. And some time in the day should be allocated for that. We are all born in different parts of India where the practices are different, our family practices are different. Okay, whatever those things are, you don't have to compare such a person. He or she is doing 2 hours puja every day. Okay, somebody has taught him or her to do that and motivated to do that. All that is fine. Just because somebody is doing something, you don't have to do the same thing. But you must do something. Devote some time. Doesn't have to be hours. 10, 15 minutes. Fine. This is what my family has practiced. They have taught me, so I do that. Don't say I do japa while I'm on the metro or I'm driving and I'm doing japa. Do that also, but be careful. All right, don't let the japa not distract your driving. But they are all only supplementary. In addition, you must devote exclusive time for worship. It can be japa, but you sit at home, one mala, 2 malas, whatever it is, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops, enough. But you should be very regular in that. Very diligent about it. If you skip one day, you tell yourself, you missed it today, and there was legitimate reasons for doing that also. So the next day you double up. Such kind of discipline you have to incorporate yourself. So this is what we, very broad description of Deva Yajna. Not elaborate rituals. We're not talking about that. Not necessary. If your family tradition, if you have time to do that, that's fine too. That's the first. The next is called Pitru Yajna, worship of forefathers, ancestors. And our scriptures consider it extremely important. According to our tradition, it has been practiced in a particular way and it should be done. We are all here because of our ancestors. Our parents gave us this body and they had their body from our grandparents, so on and so forth. So we do owe some gratitude to them and we need to express that. And it could be Shraddha, Tarpana, etc. Again, according to your tradition, you should do. That is called Pitru Yajna. And then the third one is called Rishi Yajna or Brahma Yajna, offering worship to our scriptures. Our cultures, our traditions are so glorious because of our scriptures. And our rishis have dedicated their lives to give us the scriptures. And therefore, I have to do something in return. I have to do something to preserve and propagate the scriptures. This will come under Rishi Yajna. And first and foremost, you must devote time for that study. Okay, that is how you preserve and then propagate if you can. That's also possible. So this can be daily parayana, simple thing, reading the scriptures. Just reading, scriptural reading. Okay, little bit better, studying them, trying to understand. Parayana is just chanting recitation. But if you can really understand that, even better. And then we must not only receive this knowledge, but it is our duty to pass it on to future generations also. Not that everyone should start giving all these discourses. Not necessary. It can be as simple as every parent directly teaching their children. You can do it. Simple. Your own immediate family. Good. Or taking them to a place where scriptures are taught. So we have a duty to preserve and propagate our scriptures. Of course, there is also ritualistic worship offering tarpana to the four Vedas and the rishis who have revealed the Veda mantras, and even rishi patnis who have supported them. All that is there in our tradition. This is called Rishi Yajna or Brahma Yajna. Then comes the fourth Yajna called Manushya Yajna. All types of social services come under this category. Among the various social services, Annadana, the foremost. So most of us are very familiar about this Annadana. This is ingrained in our tradition. And then sometimes people ask if they can feed the poor instead of doing Shraddha. Annadanam is extolled, so can I use that? I cannot do Shraddha. Can I do this instead? The answer is, yes, you can do it, but it should be in addition and not instead. They are not substitutes. Both must be done because they fall under different categories. One is Pitru Yajna, the other one is Manushya Yajna. Different categories. You should do them both. Are mentioned in the Shruti. So the social service concept is not something new that has come from the West. So much talk about that now. Social service. It's not the purview of the Christian missionaries only. No, it is there in our scriptures. Unfortunately, we have neglected that. And the fifth and the last of the Pancha Mahayajnas is Bhuta Yajna. All ecological protection come under this category. Planting trees, such as environmental protection, that's being talked about these days. And it's talked about as a new concept. It's been there in our tradition. Bhuta Yajna. Worship of trees, animals, feeding them, all that is there. Respect for the environment. Respect for it comes under Bhuta Yajna. Not polluting the atmosphere, not polluting the rivers, all that. A karma yogi is a person who does all this. This should be incorporated in his life as a grihastha. Such a karma yogi will not be a burden to the society. he will be a blessing to the society. So this is the first part of Karma Yoga, what actions to perform. Now we come to the second part, which is the yoga part. The proper attitude, the attitude with which you do those karmas. Even the best action will not give me any benefit if I'm going to look down upon the action and if it's not done with a proper attitude. If you do good actions, but your heart is not in it, you're not going to have much spiritual growth. The attitude should be that every action is an offering to the Lord. It's a worship of the Lord. This attitude is called Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, God-dedicated action. Every action that I do, be it sattvic or rajasic, should be dedicated to God. When I do some social service, some charitable work, I do not consider that to be my contribution. I don't develop an arrogance. Instead, I'm humble. I'm grateful to Bhagwan that he has given me an opportunity to serve him. I am serving Narayana, who has presented himself as a poor beggar. We have expressions like Naraseva is Narayana Seva, Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. All that is there. This is the idea. So the attitude must be, I'm offering this to the Lord. Bhagwan will talk about this in greater detail later. For example, in the 9th chapter, famous words, Yat karoshi yadashnasi, yat juhoshi dadasi yat, yat tapashyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva mat arpanam. Whatever you do it as an offering to me. Once I take any action as an offering to Bhagwan, I will do it with my heart in it. That will be there. I cannot offer anything but the best to God. Therefore, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi is my attitude when I do the action. And then, what should be my attitude when the results come to me? Every action will yield results. Whether it is selfless service to the society or selfish action, results may be positive or negative. Even your selfless service may be criticized. Your intentions for those services may be questioned. So when I perform actions, I do not know what the consequences will be, what the results will be. So Bhagavan says, whatever be the results, your attitude of prasada. There should be this prasada buddhi. I accept everything as prasada from the Lord. As a karta, I have Ishwararpana buddhi, and as a bhokta, I have prasada buddhi. This attitude is called yoga. This is indicated by the word yoga in Karma Yoga. So yoga is karmani, in the performance of karma, having the Ishwararpana buddhi, and karma phale, in the results of action, having prasada buddhi. So if I entertain such an attitude, the benefit is pleasant or not. It's an offering to the Lord. There ends the matter. See, for Arjuna now, the duty is to fight that war. That's not a very pleasant duty. It involves killing. His revered teachers, near and dear ones. When I have Ishwararpana Buddhi, I will not see my actions as pleasant or unpleasant, or that I don't like. Both are offering to the Lord. Once I look upon every action as an offering, I don't do it grudgingly. So there is cheerfulness in my action. My attitude to every action is the same. This is samatvam. Similarly, prasada buddhi also has benefits. When results are favorable, I'm happy. Results are unfavorable, I'm miserable. And I blame others. Sometimes I even criticize God as being unjust. Why me? Why am I going through this suffering? If I have prasada buddhi, how do I look at the results? Whatever the Lord gives, that is just result. That is what I deserve, assuming that I'm extremely good now, and yet I am going through a rough time. Know that the results I'm experiencing is not the result of my present actions only. Some results come from Purva Janma karmas also. I am not privy to those actions now. So what Bhagwan gives, I accept. Whatever a call the umpire makes in a baseball game, umpire is calling strikes and balls. Sometimes he calls a strike on you, but you didn't swing the bat. But the umpire calls that way. You better accept it. If you act up, you'll be chucked out of there. You gone. Why don't you accept the universal umpire, the Lord? That should be our attitude. Whatever Bhagwan gives is just only. Bhagwan has no injustice in him. This is important. This is important. Thus, proper action plus proper attitude is karma yoga. The benefit of karma yoga is material achievements may come, may not come, but inner growth will always be there. So the primary result of karma yoga is fast spiritual progress. The sign of spiritual progress is interest in self-knowledge. I begin to love Atma Jnana. I'm also able to very easily understand that knowledge. So this is a bird's eye view of karma yoga that I've introduced today. And then we will go on to the rest of the discussion from the 8th verse onwards. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.